Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Light Sports Ramble. For those of you that thought you missed last night's ramble, you didn't miss it because I didn't do it. And there's a great story for it. It's not because I didn't want to. I got an email yesterday from a general manager in Janesville, Wisconsin at ESPN 1380 and Hog 105.7. And he gave me the link on how to apply, that they have part-time positions available. And so that just jacked me up yesterday, folks. And I really wanted to make sure, with no broadcasting experience other than the ramble, that I had a perfect cover letter, that I really put my resume together very precisely, and I wanted to make sure that everything on the YouTube channel was good. I didn't delete anything, but I think my material is good. My original content is good, but I really spent last night making sure that everything was in line. Because I posted a tweet about reality and passion. And for those of you that know the movie The Rookie, he followed his dream, he got his chance. And at times it was hard, and that's what I'm doing right now. Is it scary? Yeah, kind of. I remember the ramen noodle days in college. And that's what it probably would be in Janesville, Wisconsin. But there's some positives. I get back to my home state. I'm about 30 miles away from where I actually went to school, and I could possibly coach college soccer. I could transfer with my company to Madison, which is about 45 minutes away. So there's some plus side to it. But the main thing is that I get to try and pursue something that I never ever thought about. And so I'm going to thank every single one of the 1,200 people that have viewed my YouTube page. If you viewed my YouTube page, tweet something to me tonight, put it on my page. I really appreciate everything that you've done to help my psyche. I really appreciate it. I love that you listen to what I have to say. Whether or not you agree with me, it doesn't matter. I appreciate every single one of you. So let's talk about some sports tonight. And a friend of mine on Twitter, Mark, threw out a topic yesterday, and I was really intrigued by it. Why do young kids verbally commit in 8th grade? What is the point to that? I really want to know, why does somebody in 8th grade verbally commit to a school? And a lot of this has to do now, too, with the kid that wanted to go to Indiana. Now he's looking at Kentucky because dad went there. But it's ridiculous. Let's get rid of the verbal commitment. And I was ready to drop a bomb right there. But I'm trying to make it G-rated. It's ridiculous. And I can give you a personal experience. I was a college soccer coach for 5 years. And I recruited sophomores. And they said, "Coach, I'm going to go to your school." I took that with a grain of salt. Do you know how much work it is to keep that kid interested in your program for 3 years? It is worse than having a child. You have to hold his hand, but worse, you have to hold mom and dad's hand. Now, never got into any illegal recruiting activity. Never had parents ask me for any illegal recruiting activity. I was a Division III, moved to Division II. I laid it on the line. This is what you're going to get. This is what's going to happen when you come here. Hey, but guess what, Johnny Recruit? When you're done in 4 years, you're going to have one hell of an education. And that's what it's about, especially for my sport in soccer. The chances of playing professional are pretty much null. So you know what? When I was Division III and I went out and I recruited a kid with good grades, he got academic money. Wasn't an athletic scholarship, but you know what? I wanted him on my team and his grades were good, so I got him some money academically. When I was Division II, I was a victim of Title IX. Now, I'm not going to get into Title IX. I think Title IX is great. The women's program had 7 scholarships. The men's program had 3. So I have 3 full scholarships to try and have a roster size of 22. Not happening. But my point going back to this is, why do kids commit in 8th grade? Heck, you don't even know what you want to eat for lunch, let alone what college you're going to go to. So you know what? Do the due diligence in the recruiting process. Go visit 5, 6, 7, 8 schools. Because you know what? You can take as many unofficial visits as you want. But take your officials and go to them. But figure out where you want to go play. Get rid of mom and dad. Don't live in mom and dad's fantasy world of this big time school. Because you know what? Find a coach that's going to develop you into the best player you can be. And I take pride in what I did in college. The compliments I still receive nearly 10 years later, that I developed them not only athletically, but as a person, that was what coaching was about. My kids graduated, my kids became good citizens, and they had a heck of a time playing a sport they loved. Now, for these kids that are going to make millions of dollars, fine. You want to go where the TV coverage is, you want to go where this is, and where you're going to get the most exposure. I understand that. But why in 8th or 9th grade are you telling a coach you're going to go there? Because when you're a senior, you're going to change your mind because mom and dad have made a deal with another coach. So you know what, mom and dad, and I'm going back to it one more time. Mom and dad, get out of the picture. Let the kid have fun. Now I could cross-reference this to my Johnny Manziel ramble. When you're that good, you got to watch out what kind of fun you have in college. But enjoy your teen years. Enjoy your college years. For those of you listening that went to college, was it not fun? I enjoyed my college life. And for those of you that remember the movie Groundhog Day, I wish my college life could be Groundhog Day. When I graduated, I wish I could go back and start over as a freshman because I enjoyed my 4.5 years. I turned down 4 Division I scholarships to play at a Division III school. My mom hated me. But you know what? I redshirted my freshman year. I knew I was going to be in school 4.5 years. And guess what? I started. And I played. That's what I wanted to do. And I didn't have to change my position from sweeper. Because the D1s wanted me to play on the flank. Or they wanted me to play a different position. I didn't want to do that. But back to the main point. I understand the recruiting. I was in the NCAA. I was in the NAIA for a while. Stop committing when you're 14 and 15 years old. Because you don't know any better. You need to go through the official recruiting process. Now, I'm okay with the national letter of intent. The signature on the line, because believe me, when I was in Division II, I sat by the fax machine too. Who's coming in? And I'll tell you what, those kids that committed to me when they were juniors even, half of them didn't come in. Because I didn't babysit them. Yeah, I went and watched them play, and I kept in contact with them. But kids change their mind as much as we change our underwear. They change their mind every day. And all that a kid in 9th grade is doing when he commits to a Kentucky or an Indiana for basketball is being cool. And trying to pick up chicks saying, hey, look, I'm the stud. I committed to Indiana. Your verbal commitment means nothing. And those coaches that actually buy into that verbal commitment, and all you fans that buy into the verbal commitment, get real. It means nothing. A recruit means nothing until National Letter of Intent Day, when they put their signature on the line and they fax it to the coach. Or they're in their school and they sign it and give it to an assistant coach. So don't get all hyped up when a 9th grade player says he's going to your school. Get real. And maybe I'm a little more harsh about this because I was a coach and because I recruited. That verbal means nothing. I remember my assistant coach coming in and saying, "Hey, Troy, got a verbal commitment from this kid from Davenport, Iowa," because I coached in Iowa. And I'm like, "That's great." I said, "We're Division II school. He's good enough to play D1. Why is he verbally committing to us?" Because his girlfriend goes here. Okay, his girlfriend goes here and he's a junior. Well, guess what happened to this kid? Him and his girlfriend broke up. Did he come to my school? No, he didn't. So again, it's ridiculous. Stop with the verbal commitments. We should just get away from the verbal commitments, because all it does is rise hope of the fan base. Because a true coach puts little stock in a verbal commitment. Because as I said, the verbal commitment, all that means is I now have to babysit mom and dad for 2, 3, 4 years. And I have to make mom and dad happy for 2, 3, 4 years. It's ridiculous. So with that said, folks, again, I want to thank every single one of my 1,200 views on my YouTube page. I'll keep you informed of my progress with ESPN 1380. Really hopeful. Almost like that verbal commitment thing. But I'm excited about it. And if I have an opportunity to pursue the passion, I'm going to do it. Because I can make that work. But I'll see you at the next red light. Hope you enjoy your Wednesday evening, everyone. I'll talk to you tomorrow.